Good evening, my fellow creatures of the night, and welcome back to my videos. Kim Sinister here. As I promised, here's my video on pendulums and how to use them. Pendulums are a divination tool that you use, usually a lot of people when they start working with divination tools, they start with the pendulum. It is very fun to work with and very easy to work with as well. The way that I'm going to show you how to use a pendulum is the way that I've learned it, that it's been showed to me. A friend of mine, I'm saying friend because we're kind of soul sisters, and although we haven't met yet, I consider ourselves like friends. I hope so. Her name is Alison Eckfeld, and she has a YouTube channel as well. It's very good. Her YouTube name is the Goblin Queen. I'm gonna try to put the link in my box below of her video on pendulums and how to use them. We use them not the same way, but both ways are good. The way that I've learned how to use a pendulum, usually you're going to use your pendulum if you're right-handed, you're going to use your pendulum with your left hand. If you're left-handed, you're going to use your pendulum with your right hand. Why we do it that way is because when you're right-handed, your right hand is your power hand and your left hand is your magnetic hand. The other way around, when you're left-handed, your left hand is your power hand and your right hand is your magnetic hand. And you work with your pendulum with your magnetic hand because you want to draw in the energy, you want to have the right answers. Your power hand is going to be more controlling, so it's going to kind of decide the way the pendulum is going. You don't put your hand under your pendulum when you use it because it's going to create kind of a magnetic field, and you don't want that. You want the pendulum to be free on moving on its own. Usually you hold the pendulum like you would hold a spoon. See, you have a little marble, a very small one at the end usually, or you have like a pentacle or a pentagram. You just hold it with your thumb here. You try for the pendulum not to touch your fingers, and your fingers are not stressed at all. Usually you're going to use a table to put underneath your elbow in order for your hand not to move. But what you're going to do, not at this height but lower, during the first 7 days after you've bought your pendulum, you're gonna ask questions that you know that the answer is yes or no. Questions like, am I a girl? Am I wearing white today? Don't ask questions like, I'm wearing white, aren't I? That's not good. Just ask, am I wearing white today? You don't ask the same questions for the 7 days. You ask different questions, and you can do that for about 2 to 5 minutes, not even. 5 minutes is quite all right. After the 7 days, the pendulum is gonna, well, it's gonna show you the yes and the no when you ask the question. So let's say that I say, am I a girl? And the pendulum goes front, back, front, back. Basically, that's going to be my yes. If I ask, am I wearing purple today? And the pendulum goes in circle, counterclockwise, that's going to be my no. Any movement that your pendulum is going to do answering your question is going to be your yes or your no. If you have 3 different pendulums that you own, it might not be all the same movements for the yes or the no. Same thing if you use a pendulum, you use it and you program it for the 7 days, and then somebody else later on, after it's been purified and neutralized and reprogrammed, use the same. It's not going to be the same movements for the yes or the no. That's why you have every time you have a new pendulum, you have to purify it, recharge it, and reprogram it. So after your 7 days, you're going to have basically what is your yes and what is your no with the pendulum. when you work with your pendulum, you work, let's say, about an hour, maximum 2 hours with your pendulum, because after that the energies are going to be either tired, or you're going to ask the same questions, and the answers are going to all be messed up, and you're not going to have the right answers in the end. So that's it for the pendulum. You can choose a pendulum that's made out of stone or metal or wood. It really depends on what you prefer. How you choose a pendulum, usually when you go, let's say, to a store where they sell pendulums, sorry, you're gonna see one is gonna jump at you, it's gonna be brighter, or your eye is gonna catch it right away. So usually it's the one that you should choose. If you're working with your magnetic hand and the pendulum does not move, try it with your power hand. If it doesn't work with your power hand or with your magnetic hand, just leave it there. Try again later. You have to learn to let go. You have to learn to abandon control with the pendulum, because you're not the one giving the answers. The energies, your guides, or the good energies you're connecting to is going to give you the answers. That's it, I think, for the pendulum little video. If you have questions, comments, or if you have your own ways of working with a pendulum, don't hesitate. Oh, one more thing. When you ask a question afterwards, you just ask the question, let's say, am I a girl? And then the pendulum is going to move. I'm going to try and show you how it works. I don't know if it's going to work as well if I hold it really high. So you ask the question, am I a girl? I don't want my hand to move. Okay. Am I a girl? And then I'm going to ask it again in my head. So that's my yes. I know that that's my yes. Thank you. So basically, when you're doing it right, the pendulum, when I ask it, it stops. When I say thank you, it stops moving. Like, it breaks. Like having breaks, not like it breaks, broken too. No, just it stops. Or when you ask, am I wearing white today? Thank you. So basically with this one, my yes is front, back, front, back, front, back. And my no is clockwise in circles. So that's going to be my yes and my no with this pendulum. It has been programmed, and it works way better if I'm at eye level. That's it for now. Don't forget to once in a while purify your pendulum by passing it through sage or lavender smoke, or putting it in a little pouch with a pinch of lavender or sage for 24 hours. You leave it in there for that. Once you've purified it, for about a day or two, re-ask questions just to make sure that it hasn't been like neutralized totally. It just has been cleaned or purified, and you can work again with it. That's it for tonight. So I'm gonna tell you good night, sleep tight, don't let the vampires bite. I love you all. Nice work with pendulums. Bye.